So when you bring this better driver,
that's where the competition.
Exactly.
Previously on Common Sense for Relationship.
Do you even know when competition is happening in your relationship?
These are some of the signs. They are unwilling to support. They are unwilling to partner with you to achieve anything. And because of that, you feel like you are alone in the fight. You come back and instead of someone celebrating your success with you, they're like, what's the big deal? Or in fact, when you say, can you imagine I got this? They say, finally, how come it took you so long? I mean, like, imagine that.
Please throw more light on financial competition in a relationship.
Competing, right, is when you strive to gain or win something by defeating or establishing superiority. One person will be saying, I am worth this compared to I am worth that. You know, if when people have an argument, instead of working towards a resolution, you are working to win the argument.
Okay. All right. Not the face we're expecting, right? I get. Well, welcome to Common Sense for Relationship. Before I go any further, let me be sure that you are hearing me. So if you can hear me, just as we used to do now, just type one. Let's know who we have and who can hear us. Yeah, Debbie. Oh man, one love, my girl. Whenever I see your name pop up, honestly, it gives me joy. you are the one that encourages us to do this thing, and you're one of them. So please, if you can hear me, please just type 111 before I go further. Whew, I'm a bit okay. All right. Our first. No, she's not a first timer. Yes, Timora. Okay, so I know this is not the face you're expecting to see. I know. Just relax. They will soon come. They are here. They will soon join us. Anyways, today's topic is marry your size. And honestly, when I got this topic, the first thing that comes to mind when I saw this topic was a slim guy getting married to a very, I don't want to say it before they say I'm saying something else. But that's the first thing that comes to mind. Anyway, let me move forward very fast. So, marry your size. I have a story to tell about this marry your size. And after the story, I will ask a question. And the question, I'm throwing it open to you guys and to our, Mr. and Mrs. Bature. So it's open. So I'll say the story and then I'll ask the question. So when I was much younger, I'm not saying I'm old. By the way, I just did my birthday, recently. Yes. Anyway, so I met this girl that I liked. I was really interested in her. She was everything that you would need in a girl. She was smart, she was brilliant, she was beautiful, like she was drop dead gorgeous. But there was one problem. The problem was that she was out of my league. Or I felt she was out of my league, basically. So the morale to walk up to her and tell her, hey girl, what's up? I'm feeling you, I like you. It did not show. So all I could do was admire from a distance. I couldn't go further. I couldn't ask her anything. Anyway, that whole emotion just died as time went by. Okay. Now, a couple of years down the line, I met this lady. I met her, and then we got talking, and I was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Then we started catching up on old times and all that. And I now told her that, see, back then, me, I was feeling you, but it looked like you were out of my league and all that. And she was like, for me, why didn't you walk up to me? Why didn't you come? Even me too, I was feeling you from it. I'm like, what? Like, so, of course, now by this time she was now in a relationship. I think she was engaged or something. And that was how I lost someone wonderful. Maybe by now we would have probably been married, it would have been, but then I couldn't go because I felt that she was out of my league. So when they say marry your size, from what I think it is marry someone within your league, So I'm like, so now here comes my question. Eduro, wait, calm down. I wrote it down. Initially, I wanted to direct this question to one gender, but then I don't want to be gender biased before, so I'm throwing it open to both genders. When the clock is ticking, do you really care about league or love? I'm throwing it open. So I will ask again. When the clock is ticking for the guys and for the ladies, all right? When the age clock is ticking, what is league really important or love and care? So please drop your answer in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Then I am very sure our experts in the house will come and throw more light. This is the last to see my face, and for those who don't know me, my name is Kingsley. And I am on Common Sense for Relationship. Peace out. Thank you very much. Are you searching for a life partner? Do you wish to have a relationship that actually works? Search no more. With the book Husband Material by Anietie Bature, a relationship coach and author, Husband Material promises clarity and direction on all the questions you have in this thing called love. With rich content from decades of real experiences and learnings, Husband Material Workbook provides an awesome read that will help make your relationship work. This is made possible with a step-by-step, hand-in-hand, frame-by-frame work with the author to leave out the lessons in the main book. You can place your order today on Linktree/Anietie Bature. The Linktree is spelled linktr.ee/Anietie Bature. Amazon Kindle, Paystop, Okada Books, Barnes & Nobles, and Raven Hearts.
Yay. Welcome back, everyone, to Common Sense for Relationships. Why are you just smiling now? My name is Anietie Bature, and I'm here on set with my husband, Kingsley Bature.
Hello.
Yes, and on this show, we try to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your lives and your relationships.
And how many of you enjoyed seeing Toby King on set today? How many of you, would you like him to come back to like be the opener for this show? I would like to get some. How do you guys think he did? Did you think he did well? Should we fire him, or should we bring him up a bit more? Because I'd like to hear what they have to say about Toby King. But yeah, we just try to put different kinds of flavor and take different perspectives on the show, right? So you're welcome.
Yeah,
to
Debbie,
Common
good
Sense
evening.
For relationship.
Yes, you're welcome. Good evening, Debbie. Good evening, everyone who's joining us from different places. It's good to have you on the show today.
Yeah.
Yep. So today is episode 3 of our series.
Yes. What's the title of that series?
The title of the series is 4 Reasons Relationships Fail. Yeah.
And today we are talking
marry your size.
So the person that you are wanting to follow, is he your size or is he bigger than your size? See, in my head, let me not just go there first, but it's your show. Let me respect myself. In my head, there are many directions we can talk about this size. Many directions, but I will let the flow. We can still take it from where Toby King left.
Yes, he left an interesting question.
Yes, he left an interesting question.
Meanwhile, Toby King, sorry that you lost something good for not rising up and taking a chance.
But this rising up, do you want to attend to it before you dive into other matters? Do you want to attend to the rising up? Because Toby King saw a chance he didn't take, and this particular king saw a chance that we are still taking to now. My goodness, that sounded good. That sounded good where it was coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Taking a chance or rising to the occasion or taking that bold step. Yeah, for different people at different times. I mean, you just have to. If it's worth it, then give it a try. Because really, you never know. And like we'll tell our kids, the worst that will happen is that the person will say no. And when they say no, you are back to where you were. You're back to square one. It's not like you're losing something by the no. It's not like the no is stripping you of something, right? So, but then you might get a yes. And then you get all this goodness and all this value and all this joy that you anticipated in that relationship, right? So it's something that people need to be able to do, right? And sometimes people will think, oh, it's only guys that should take that bold step, but there are ways that ladies can at least start the discussion. So don't say, oh, he never walked up to me, he never said anything, and so on and so forth. I mean, imagine if she had said a hello or a hi or hey, well, what are you doing this afternoon? There's this program, let's go, or something, just something to make him realize there's an interest. So, yep, that's it. Be ready to make the bold move. Be ready to take that step.
So if I were going to take a hack at the question that the first question that has been raised on this issue,
hey,
marry your size. So we have
Christy has joined from Port Harcourt. Welcome, Christy.
Welcome, Christy. Welcome, Christy. We see you all joining and welcome. So
the hack.
I'm taking a hack at this, right? If we're saying that his question was when the clock is counting, this whole league thing, this whole she's out of my league or she's not in my class, does it matter? League or love, or league versus love, when the clock is counting. But I even want to extrapolate it. Is it only when the clock is counting? At any time, should it matter whether the person is out of your league or and why do we even say the person is out of your league? Let's even start from there.
Let's start from there.
Yes.
You know, when you look at somebody being out of your league, it's or something being out of your league, you're thinking that thing is too good, right? Too good for you, or too expensive, you know, for you to afford. Like it's you can't get it for different reasons. Okay. And if you want to look at it when it comes to relationships, it's stuff like this person is too beautiful, you know, like they say, oh, the most beautiful girl in the school or the most beautiful girl in the office. No, you can't approach her, she's too fine, you know. Or if you watch romantic comedies like me, the what they call the captain of the football team, you know, it's like, oh, everybody's like, oh, he's out of your league, you know. So just because, but then that's because of maybe some physical edge or something. The person has his strong
profile.
Yeah, he's strong, he's fast, he's this, he has biceps, he has all of that, you know. And another case would be maybe the daughter of the richest man or something. You know, some people think Dangote's daughter is out of, I mean, I don't even know where she is or how many they are, but I mean, something like that, you'd be like, oh, she's out of your league. I beg you, you can't, you know, because they're like, you can't measure up, you can't match the wealth, right? So people, that's this whole out of my league thing that you're thinking. But do you know the interesting thing about it?
Tell me.
Because everybody's looking at it from outside. Do you really know what the person wants? Or you're just standing from outside, right? And you are looking and assuming, if they are rich, it must be that they want somebody who is as rich or richer, you know? Or if they are beautiful, they want somebody who is handsome. Do you understand? Or if they are skinny, they want another skinny person. I mean, it's easy for you to stay from outside and start judging. That person probably wants this or wants that, and I don't have it. But then, how sure are you? Is it possible that you are making a mistake in your assumption? So that's an interesting question that people need to ask themselves. Rather than stay from outside and just assume that, hey, she's out of my league. What she wants, I don't have. What he wants, I don't have. And this is not going to happen. This is not going to work. So let me not even bother, right? You need to find out, is it possible to forge a relationship with this person, that in quotes seems to be out of your league.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Good point. Good point you're making.
Mm-hmm.
Good point you're making. And for me, I actually think about it in context of the fact that a a preconception
Mm-hmm.
of this perspective of which league you belong to.
Uh-huh.
Maybe the person is playing in Champions League,
Yeah.
and you are playing in League Two. That's, you're not even in Premier League. You're not even the Premier League. The person, and you're playing in League Two.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain problems that it can create. There are certain problems that it can create.
Yeah.
And those are the things that affect relationships. Because if you don't sort those problems,
Yes.
you get into the relationship, and you begin to see some things that begin to come up. I believe we'll be able to look at some of those things.
Yeah.
We'll be able to address some of those things that come up as a result of this perspective differential in perspective. I'm going somewhere. I'm feeling myself going somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
But let me not run too far ahead. Please continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
So you see, when you talked about you talked about problems, and the moment you said problems, it brought me right back to compatibility, right? Because you're talking about, are we compatible? You're looking at this person you're potentially going to go into a relationship with, right? And you're thinking, are we compatible? And what does compatibility address, right? That two of you can exist together, two of you can be in a relationship together, two of you could be married without serious problems and serious conflicts, So you're able to merge your individual parts. It's like one person is coming on one small track, another person on another small track, and then you guys are able to come and create a new path that is stronger, and nobody's killing anybody. And one person, the fact that you're going together doesn't mean that one person has to, in quote, decrease so that the other will increase. You understand?
Yeah.
Or one person has to be negatively impacted by the relationship while the other is benefiting from the relationship. I mean, these are the things that you have to look at when it comes to compatibility. So some people will just think, oh, we're not compatible because an easy one to use is money. We're not compatible because he's rich and I'm not rich. And you just say, oh, that means we're not compatible.
And you see, this rich issue that you're bringing, there's another part that's coming. I think, don't say I'm saying anything, but I think this rich issue is easier for the women than it is for the men.
Okay, wait, you mean it's easier for the lady to say, well, he's richer, not a problem.
Not a problem.
But it's not easy for the guys to say she's richer.
Not a problem.
Yes. And that's because it's a cultural context too.
What do you mean when you say cultural context?
Yeah, but you know that if I come at it from the African culture,
okay,
right? Because I always start from here and then we can add the rest of the world. But in our African culture, it's expected that the man, right, is the head, and it's expected that the man is the main or sole provider in some cases. So it's expected that he should have more money, right? And it is also expected that if you're taking somebody from her father's care, you should be able to match the level of care that her father was providing, or at least match it, right? And then even better, exceed it. So you see, somebody was used to a certain quality of life. We used to, let's say, for instance, go on vacation twice a year, had a new car every year, her clothes were always designers and stuff like that. And then you now step in and you've not even traveled before. You've not even traveled before. So how will you give her 2 trips a year, and stuff like that? So, when you start to look at those things, the guy may feel like, oh, I can't handle this. I'm not ready for this. I'll always be trying to measure up in her father's eyes.
Yes.
Or I mean, so many different considerations coming,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And because of that, he may just negotiate himself out of the discussion completely, so he doesn't even go forward to approach the lady or to even see is it possible, because he has analyzed and said it's not possible, I'm moving away.
Maya said something. Maya said it's easier for
A lady,
it's kind of easier for a lady to
marry
marry up than it is for a guy. And that reminds me of something. I'm going to say something that sounds a little bit controversial, and well, it depends on how you're looking at it. And it's something I read from somewhere, right? And there was this guy. I can't remember his name right now. I can't remember his name. And he said when you find a group of millionaires or billionaires on a yacht, right? Every guy that is on that ship or on that yacht, if they are millionaires, they deserve to be there. But you will find out that the ladies that are on that ship only got there either by one thing that they can, but they are not at that level. But every guy that is there is on that level. But the ladies are not on that level, but they can get there. But if you flip it, it's not always that easy that you find ladies that are millionaires in a circle and the guy that is in that circle is not a millionaire.
Yeah, you're right. You have a point there, and there are many reasons. I mean, it could also be the peer thing, you know.
That supports
what Maya was saying. Yes, he's spot on. Because I mean, sometimes even amongst a group of friends, you know, there's a thing where people want to see who's the guy, you know, in your life.
Who is the guy in your life?
Yes, who's the guy, and then they wait to see the guy, and then eventually somebody shows up and he comes out. Maybe he comes out of an Uber and he's just wearing a normal shirt. They can't see any designer label, you know, or his belly is not so flat, and they're just like, is this the guy?
So like, the physique doesn't match up.
So sometimes the physique plus the entrance. Do you understand? This is why some people will go and borrow their friend's car when they want to be introduced to the lady or the lady's friends. You know, they'll go and borrow package. You know, their friends will help them to look a certain way so that at least they can pass the girlfriend's test, right? So yeah, so those pressures are there. Those pressures exist, and you know what happens a number of times here. Some people will start by putting up those appearances, and then they don't know. Yes, then they don't know when to stop. Do you understand? They want to continue to make it appear, and they're hoping that one day they'll be able to let her know that really, okay, that car was not my car; it's my friend's car. And one day they'll let her know that, you know, I talked about those trips. Actually, I didn't go. It was this person that went and told me about it, and so on, right? But you see that it now becomes a struggle. When do I put down the facade? When do I allow this person to see the real me, and then decide whether or not they want to go ahead in this relationship with the real me? You know, so those are some of the challenges people have. How do I manage this relationship? When do I let her know who I really am, and so on? Yeah, it's quite a problem.
So these are interesting contexts that, you know, we're having here, because we're looking at this issue and we're saying this thing causes problems in relationships, because we are saying sometimes you don't match up like you raised. So you have raised the issue of wealth, you have raised the issue of profile, you have raised the issue of physique, you know, you have raised the issue of compatibility.
Yeah.
So because all of these things make somebody feel like, that lady or that guy is not in my league. So the first problem that we see that exists is that there is the withdrawal syndrome, or the case with that the story that was told us at the beginning, the case of you do not even approach. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The principle of non-approaching, non-approachability, due to lack of some of these things.
But, you know, so sometimes people make things difficult for themselves
Mm-hmm.
because they are looking for the way you want to jump in is a difficult one, right? Instead of going to people want to do the usual where you step in and sometimes you're asking the person out right away and the person
Mm-hmm.
is wondering what are you about, you get. But then if you are able to have a soft landing, then things may be a little easier for you. And how do you get a soft landing? This is one place where friendship also helps a lot. Friendship helps a lot to give you a soft landing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because hey, there's nothing wrong in being just friends with someone, right? And there's nothing wrong in just introducing yourself to someone with the intention of being just friends with the person. Why am I talking about friendship? Because friendship gives you the opportunity to get to know somebody better. Friendship gives you the opportunity to see this person, find out what they are about, find out what they want, find out what they really need.
Mm.
Because you might be thinking, rich girl needs rich man. But this particular rich girl may be looking for somebody who just listens to her and hears her out.
Mm.
Somebody who is able to maybe defend her in certain scenarios. She may be looking for somebody who does not treat her like rich girl, you know? So, but you will never know if you don't get a little closer. And friendship gives you the opportunity, right, to get a little closer and find out. Because really, at the end of the day, everybody needs something.
Mm. Mm.
Everybody needs
So in a
something.
relationship, everybody's looking
Yes,
for something.
everybody is looking for something. Nobody is coming into a relationship just to give. Some people are, everybody's looking for something,
Mm.
right? I want to give and I want to get. It needs to be mutually beneficial.
Reciprocal.
Yes.
The principle of reciprocity.
Mm.
My goodness, I'm touching things.
Yes. So, but how will you know if you don't get close enough? How
Mm.
will you know if you don't find opportunities to be able to understand what this person is about? You know, friendship is one. Another option, another way that people try to do this is to find out, ask questions, find out
Mm.
the person's friends,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to get info from the person's friends. What's this lady about? What's this guy about? What's he into? What, you know, so that they can get an idea of um, how can I get in? Because really, if you can give to that person what they need,
Mm.
is there still a league thing there?
Yeah,
For as far as the
if
person
you
is
so
concerned.
so so if you can give the person what they need,
Mm-hmm.
you sort of jump the gap
Mm-hmm.
because you have left you have jumped the gates or the hurdles,
Mm-hmm.
those hurdles, those three that we mentioned that can keep you away,
Mm-hmm.
and you have hit the person at the heart. So what you are raising now is a solution to these things that keep us away, because if you jump those gates,
Mm-hmm. You give yourself a softer
you give
landing.
yourself a fighting chance.
Yes, you give yourself a fighting chance, right? Because I mean, after you have established the friendship and you know what this person is about, then you can begin to meet that person's need, right?
Mm,
And
mm,
then they can begin to appreciate you for who you are, regardless of the fact that you may not be as fine, as rich, as tall, as whatever the metrics are that
mm,
you are looking for. And
mm.
you know what? That solves the first part of the problem, which is the part that concerns you and the person.
Right,
So
right.
if you're able to address that one, then at least you guys are on the same page. And this is where you have this person in your corner and you are in the person's corner. And at this point, you can now start talking about how do we deal with our friends? How do we
Mm,
deal with our family? How do we
mm,
deal with, all these other people that may say, no, this is not a good match, or this is not a good fit, or how can, after all I have done taking care of you, now you want to settle with this kind of person? They can't do what I've done for you. They can't this, they can't, and stuff like that. Because really, you can't say, oh, just because the person likes me, I like the person, or the person meets my needs, I meet the person's needs, we're fine. They are contenders. They are people who really have, in quotes, the best interest of that person at heart, right?
mm.
So a very loving friend, a very loving parent could say no. this guy is not good for you, he can't take care of you, and so on. So how do you deal with that? That's where the two of you now, if you're serious, now have to sit down and start talking about what do we do? How do we manage our parents when it comes to finances? How are we? And these are difficult decisions and discussions that you have to.
You're beginning to elicit the problems
Mhm.
that this
The disparity,
in
quotes,
size
will bring.
will bring.
Mhm.
You know, they are beginning to talk about those problems. And there was something that was raised here. Jay's Empire said, a culturally guy might not be compatible with city girl. That's another case. Do you understand? That's another case.
Because cultural guy will be expecting,
we're expecting that he's the lord of the house.
that city girl will do this and do that and do that, and city girl will say, I'm not cut out for that, so I'm not planning to do that. You know, but you know the thing is, cultural guy may stand at a distance, just like we've been saying, and say, this one is city girl. This one is city girl. She's not going to. She can't do what I need, right? Meanwhile, he may not realize that this particular city girl knows how to address all the in quote cultural contexts, right? While still being a city girl.
So,
but how will he know from a distance?
Yeah, so that's a first problem.
Mhm.
Where we've talked about the principle of thou shalt not approach because you feel like thou are not good enough. Good. Now the second part is, if, for example, using the solution that you have given now, because you know, even though we're having this in a conversation, please note that we're actually having the conversations. We're actually having the conversations, and we are so proffering solutions to these things as we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Now, so if the cultural guy has jumped the divide and has now met a need that, this city girl feels like this guy meets my need, there still is the issue that can come up in the relationship where the cultural guy, because all he has known is, this is, as a man concerned, this is my territory. Good. So I want my wife to be a certain kind of way as an Igbo man.
And she's not ready to be that.
And she's not ready to be that. Instead, when I'm talking, my wife wants to talk because she's a city girl and wants to tell me about human rights or rights of women. Do you understand? Or I'm talking, culturally speaking, we are having a conversation, and then city girl comes to put mouth. That will not go down well with a thoroughbred Igbo man. That will not go down. Won't go down well. So that already is an issue that will brew. An issue that will come up. So you're going to see something.
Yeah, so I was going to say, this thing, sometimes people make this relationship thing look like it's difficult, right? But really, when you look at it, it's about two people, right? And it's about these two people having their needs met. So in this case, let's say the guy has now found out what the lady's needs are and is meeting it, but then his own needs are not being met. What's that? How are you going to deal with? How are you going to deal with the fact that one person is satisfied and the other is frustrated? Because you really have to. Yes, you may have taken some steps to help you get access to the person, but after you have gotten the access, you still need to be checking: is this thing working both ways? I can meet their needs, yes. Can they meet my needs? Because I mean, it's only for so long that you can deal with continuing to meet somebody else's needs when your own needs are not being met.
Yeah.
Initially, eventually, the frustration, the dissatisfaction,
it will show up somewhere.
Will show up.
It will show up somewhere,
and it will start to affect everything. And eventually, someone say, you know what, I can't take this anymore. I've had it. Blah 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 blah. So we always have to look out for. We always have to look out for these things. We always have to look out for the important things that make that relationship work. Because those things are like glue. It's like I do something for you, you do something for me. It's almost like the tie that binds. It's almost like the the stuff that keeps us together.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Mm-hmm.
it's one-sided all the time, eventually somebody's going to get tired. Eventually somebody's going to say, okay, I've had it, I'm moving on. And you don't want that. So if you can see from the beginning that, hey, this is not going to work because it's only one person's needs that are getting met, the other
Mm-hmm.
person is dissatisfied, and if we continue like this, then this will only get worse. Then by all means, put an end. It may be time for you to say, okay, it would have been good, but it looks like this isn't quite working, and so you move.
Mm.
Looks like it's not working, and so you go on.
So
But sometimes people are afraid to step back because they feel like, oh, it will mean that the relationship did not work out. It will mean that the relationship failed. People will say this and people will say that, and so you continue.
and
No.
I've said it severally,
Mm.
severally for all that want to hear. In my opinion, a relationship, a properly defined relationship,
Mm.
does not fail.
Mm. Yes.
We
You have
just we
said
just
you've
use
said
we
that
just
before.
use why relationship fail as a title,
Mm.
because you people are the ones that tell us that they are all failing all around. But if you define the relationship properly, it really does. Relationships do not fail. Now, the reason we say that is simple.
Mm.
Relationships cannot fail if they are designed to do something.
Mm.
Practical example: if a relationship is designed to find out whether two of us can end up in marriage,
Mhm.
and in the process of the relationship you find that there's something that you like, there's something that is a no for you, that I'm having,
Mhm.
and it can't work, and at the end of the day you decide, Kai, we have found out that this thing cannot work.
Mhm.
Did the relationship fail? No. It
It
told us
achieved
that
its
it
purpose.
has achieved its purpose. That's
Yeah.
told us that we cannot go on together.
Yeah.
So, well, but it's when we do all of these relationships that we don't define.
Mm.
We are catching cruise up and down, catching cruise. And then we now say, the cruise ship crashed. The relationship has failed.
I think we should take some comments now. We have a few.
Okay, we have a number of comments.
Mm-hmm.
Kingsley said, it's easy for a rich guy to marry poor girl. Bit difficult to find a rich woman marrying a poor man. Especially, that one day, my brother. You are talking truth. Mercy said, this life is simple. Oh. Now, just some people, they make them hard. Mercy, please, can you expatiate on that statement? Because we have said a number of things. So if you are there, can you just throw some more light on that? And if you would like to call into the show, I believe the guys can send the link in there, and you'll call into the show and tell us how has going relating up, or relating down. How has your experience been? Marrying up, marrying down. How's your experience been? And how has it affected your relationships? Please let us know. Please, guys, please send the link in there so that they can join us online. Maiwa says it's actually not that rare for women to marry down. Okay, they are just more discreet about it. Very rich men might be distasteful to them, and lesser men might not approach them. Then there are scammers. Yes, valid.
Mhm.
There are scammers. Very rich men might be distasteful to them, and lesser men might not approach. But even when they approach, which is what we have said, even when they are approached, there are issues that may arise because of the differences in class.
Mhm.
The difference in class can often present an issue where you find out that it's almost as if you are always, especially for the guys, now speaking as a guy, it's almost as if you are always trying to prove a point. You're always trying to prove that you are good enough. You're always trying to prove that you're good enough, and that presents a problem. That's a lot of pressure, especially for guys. When the person is out of your league and you've finally gotten her. So crossing the divide to get her as a guy is one thing. The second one is that performance that you must continue to perform in order to prove that you are good enough to keep her.
Yeah. So
that's a problem.
Yeah. So it's about there's a lot of intentionality required, right?
Yeah. Okay. I think
Myra
added
says,
more
so
context.
if they find a nice man, they
Yeah.
try to package him and be discreet about it, so he'll pass
Pass
the
the
girlfriend's
girlfriend's test.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. Sometimes it's the friends that of the guy that help him to say, hey guy, this thing you're going for, let's help you. Oh yeah, come collect my clothes, you take my car, I'll give you my
use my
perfume,
apartment.
I use my perfume, and so on and so forth. You know? Yeah. But the risk with that is that at some point you now have to be true. You need to be true. This thing of being genuine and being true is so important, because if you don't, at some point someone will find out and say, you mean you deceived me, you mean you carried me along, and so on, and then now you're just telling me that you are this and you are that. It begins to feel like some form of deception, and then next thing somebody will say, okay, so if you're just telling me this now, what else have you kept from me? That's a very interesting line in a number of these movies. What else have you kept from me? What else are you hiding? What other lies have you told? You'll be saying, I didn't lie, I just withheld the truth, but the person is calling it a lie. So really, you have to, as much as possible, please be genuine. Let the person know who you are. At least when it comes to the person, let them know who you are. And then together, you guys can decide how you will deal with the external, the stakeholders, the friends, the parents, the cousins, the siblings, and so on. Recently somebody said they had to break up with a guy because the lady's sisters were not convinced.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and she called it off. So you just wonder, okay, what could she have done differently? Should she have given the guy, I don't know, a chance to come and prove himself to the sisters? Should she have said, you know what, this is my life, you people have your own life, I am going to do what I want? Or should she have done like debates, and with these few points of mine, blah 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 blah?
Before you finish, sorry, there's an Ade Ferrari that just joined. And Ade Ferrari says, not just joined, Ade Ferrari posted a question. He posted that I'm having serious, I don't know if you're a guy or a lady, I'm having serious issue with my relationship. That's what he said. I'm having a serious issue with my relationship. So Ade Ferrari, please, please, you can, the link is posted, you can call in and let's talk about it. We have a few minutes before we run to the end of the show. Please call in and let's talk about it. So go ahead, Babi.
So how do you deal with the other parties? How do you deal with the stakeholders? Because those people are important, right? And you see in some places, some people will just try to isolate themselves. I mean, people find different ways. So for instance, you'll see somebody gets married in the city and wants to live in a completely different city. So they don't have the as much influence and interference from the family members. If you are living in the same town with them, they'll show up all the time and they'll continue to be in your spouse's space. So you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you can't even. But if you're far away, then that's less of a problem, right? So people find different ways to deal with it. Sometimes, so the lady just has to tell the father, Dad, yes, you've given me all this. Yes, you have done this, done that, fantastic quality of life. Okay, but this other guy, he doesn't have everything, but then he makes me happy. You have to be able to make a case. He makes me happy. And I think that we can build from here and eventually get to this place where we have been in, where the father was providing coverage and stuff. But you have to be intentional and you have to have a plan. Okay, you have to have a plan to address the things that are seen as, in quotes, gaps or deficits, or shortcomings and so on. You have to. So for instance, let's say you're getting married to somebody who is so polished and they eat a certain way, fork and knife, they know how to use how many different pieces of cutlery, and and you have just been using spoon and hand. And now you're going to have to be going for all kinds of high society events. Then maybe you need to go and take a course on etiquette and so on. Just learn. What do I do? Well, find out where are the gaps, how do I close it? Where are the gaps, how do I close it? If you are really crazy about the person and you really want that relationship to work, then by all means put in the effort and close the gaps.
So
But
what I'm hearing you
if
say,
mhm,
what I'm hearing you say
yes,
is that even if there's a gap,
mhm,
if you are willing to marry up,
mhm,
you also have to level up.
yes, you have to level up.
Mm.
You have to try to level up.
Try
And
to level
leveling
up.
up doesn't necessarily mean in the exact same
Same
place.
way.
Do you understand? Because, for instance, somebody will say, I'm marrying a very rich man. Level up. How will you level up
Level
to?
up means I need to
I keep
be.
using Dangote is the one right in front of us. How will you level up to Dangote? You may work really hard, but you may never get there, right? And then you might, you never know. But then, is that what is the crucial thing for him? You know, so that's why it all comes down to what does that person need?
Yeah, yeah.
What does
yeah.
that person need? If you're super in quotes, if the super rich guy needs a trophy wife, then by all means level up in being a trophy wife. Make yourself beautiful, find the right hairstylist, know how to do your makeup, know the right dresses, do all the pampering and the facials and all stuff, so that you will meet his need, so that every time he's going for that society event or doing whatever it is and he wants the trophy wife beside him,
You got,
yes,
you're right there.
you're right
But
there
I like the
representing.
flow you are flowing. You know, I like the way you're flowing now. You are getting, you are leveling up. You know, I leveling up in the flow, and I'm liking it. I just Mercy said relationship involves two people meeting the needs of each other. So I don't get why you are always receiving. She's getting personal right here. Your needs are always met, and you just leave the other person hanging.
Yeah.
Then it is not a relationship; it's
Yeah.
a relationship. It's not late, right? It's not late.
Oh my goodness. So you know, earlier we were talking about when you find out you cannot meet the person's needs.
Yeah.
Really, you should be able to say, hey, I can't meet this person's needs. I can't meet your needs, and I am moving on. Why? Because if the person is able to meet your needs and you cannot meet their needs, then you have moved away from being a partner to more like being a pest.
Whoa.
And that may sound like that's harsh. But really, what is a pest?
Okay, please.
A pest lives off
Whoosh.
the other.
I thought you were going to make it easier. It's as if you are.
The pest lives off the other. The pest takes, and drains the other. You know, if depending on how much they take, the other might survive or the other may really struggle, right? But the pest's needs are being met, but the pest is not giving anything.
Wow. But this one now that you're talking about pest, there's another angle that I want to bring in, because this one I just mentioned the pest now, this pest side now, and the angle is this. Guys, you know I've been on your side, so don't take it personal. But I'm coming. Why do you people always want to marry women that are not in your league? What about the women that are in your league? What waiting do them? No, it's just a question that I'm asking. You know, so those you always want to marry. They say women too like money. Women too like. What about? I don't know women that don't like money that are in your circle, in your league. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, you know, you're looking for.
I'm just asking.
Oh my goodness, you know, and this thing you're talking about, I watched a clip recently where this lady walks up to this guy, you know, and is saying she can't find people to marry, blah 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 blah, and the guy now starts asking her questions, and in the end she admits that really she's looking for somebody that is above her level, you know, financially speaking. And so the guy tells her, well, if you were looking for someone at your level, you will easily find them because they are all around you. But if you're looking for someone above your level, then you now have to go out of your usual space. Exactly. Like maybe go to the place where they're testing all the new cars and they're having all, you know, just go to the place, you know, go where the fish are. If you're looking for super rich people, they are in a certain place, find it and then go there. And then dress yourself to be able to get there, to be able to enter that space, you know. So if you're not ready to do it, then you will find it difficult to find someone at your level. So sometimes people want ready-made, people want finished products, people aren't willing to work with somebody to grow, because they don't want to take chances. So they just want somebody that I'm already sure that the person has money, or I'm already sure that the person has these particular qualities, and they aim for that. Becomes a challenge if you cannot find them. And sometimes people now see the part that is tricky. You have plenty people that are good, that at, in quote, your level, but you say no, I want somebody that is in quote above me or out of my league, or I want to marry up. You understand? Okay. So you now be waiting for somebody that will help you go up in marriage, and it may happen, it may not happen.
True.
But while you are waiting for this to happen, you know what's happening to the good people that are on your level?
They are marrying other people.
They are getting married. They're getting married. Then when sometimes you now get tired and say, okay, it's as if this thing is not happening. Let me just marry somebody on my level. You now look around, and all the good guys on your level are gone. Taken. Then you now have to look for somebody that you can manage.
So you're managing in marriage.
Meanwhile, you could have had a good guy at your level, and you guys could have worked together to level up.
Together. Wow.
But you say you want something bigger, you want more. So please pay attention, guys and ladies. When you are making some of these decisions, look at it not just short term, long term. What's going to happen? And everything is risk. So in saying you want to wait and find this particular type of person, you risk losing the good people around you, right? And then if you now don't find that person, you come back and you have to deal with how to marry somebody who is now below your level. We have some more comments that came in.
Okay, so I got we got the comment.
Yeah,
the most amazing fathers didn't really start out so amazing. It was a process. You can use that as a tool in making your argument.
Yes. Thank you very much, Maiwa. That's a good one. So for instance, the lady can go and ask her mother, how was it when you and daddy got married? Let's hear if this super rich daddy, who is insisting that my husband must be super rich, let's hear if he was super rich from the start,
from the beginning,
or let's hear if people started life small and then over time things got better. She can use that as an additional piece in her argument.
She said that's why some guys ask this: what will you be bringing to the table? Questions. What will you be bringing to the table? Questions to avoid all of these things.
Okay.
It's very key. Maya was laughing at leveling up.
And Uju is on the call. Hi, Uju.
He says straight bullet just hit trophy wife. Well, it's everyone's desire to marry up. It's basically the psychological desire of getting a good deal. Deborah says it's the relationship for me. Ade Ferrari says seriously
in love with this program. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ade. And it's really interesting as we begin to tie this already.
Yes.
Why do people like this now? Why do people like this? The time flies when we're having fun.
Yes. And I'm going to use that opportunity to make some noise. Husband material. So, I know I just scattered your script and your plan and all of that, but hey, I think people need to realize that husband material is out there, and it's a good book you need to buy and read. Yes, it's on Amazon, it's on all the many different platforms, so go ahead and get it. If you're not a hard copy person, you can get it on Kindle and on BAM books and a couple of other books and so on.
It's on Amazon. You can see it just scrolling at the base of the screen, all the places where you can get it online. And I'm sure my tech guys will be able to post the link for it. Yes, we'll be able to post the link for it down there, and you can relate. And so it will help you solve a lot of the problems that we are talking about.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of value, there's a lot that is packed into husband material, and to make it It's actually they actually have two books.
Yeah.
There's the book, and then there's the workbook for those that are serious about getting relationship right. My wife said something, and then somebody also echoed it in the comment section where person say sometimes we just make things hard for ourselves, and what we have tried to do is this whole relationship issue, let's simplify it. Let's make it practical, right? Let's make it practical. It's not existing there in the wind, because good relationships are out there. They are working. Things are happening. People are enjoying their life. People are happy. People are happy.
Yeah.
And so and see, but the way we just flowed today, we've just been going. We didn't even tell people to share.
So they can share at the end now.
So at the end now, so we're about to end. So if you know that you're not quarreling with me and you don't have any problem with me, in fact, right now, I'm even saying, even if you have problem with me, just share it so that somebody else will inherit the problem. You get so that if someone instead of having let the person collect the problem, but you that don't have problem with me, please share the link. Right? Share the link. Let people get some of this value so that we can move to the permanent side. And yes, we promised last week that we're going to put out our fan link because we really want to reward everyone that is watching, that's coming online to watch this show with us, because we are coming to the end of the year. We want to be able to say thank you. So we're going to put the fan link out in the comment section, not just the live comment section. We'll put it in the comment section at the end of the show. So just click the link and just put your handles there so that we can know, hey, these are people that watch us constantly, and we can say thank you at the end of the year. My wife says husband material can be the difference between getting a good marriage or not. Knowledge is power. And in fact, I saw something in one of the interesting things on my timeline this week. Somebody says any woman can be a good material if they have a good tailor.
Yeah, very interesting.
She can be a good wife material if she has a good tailor. So the guy, if the guy knows how to sew,
know how
to cut, how to design, how to align, there's a flow coming there, but let me keep it.
All right, okay. So thank you everyone for being with us on today's show. It's been fantastic. And please remember to share. And lastly, I will say, remember that common sense is not so common.
It's not so common. Bye. So don't forget to share, even though we said it at the end. Just share. Thank you. And you can take it out, Oga Program Manager.
This one, na clarion call to all the brothers and sisters within this country. Naija, now our land. Now we go save am. You know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, better get your PVC.
Make it no be like Santa tell you. Make it no be like saying na pata they wear you. Everybody, mama and papa, maybe we can clear you. So you know go be like say we no help you. Get your PP, get your PVC, get your PP, get your PVC.
You know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, get your PVC.
Outside Igbo and Yoruba.
Naija country, Naija country, Naija country, Naija country.
Yes, everybody go for your PVC. I beg. Don't say no, the japa. For your PVC. One love.